what I do professionally, I use Keep, I've used HubSpot. As far as in the mortgage industry, use something, right? Your company traditionally has that as part of your employment, it has a CRM that you can use. If it's something like, oh, it's clunky, look, that's an excuse. I love you. It's an excuse to not use what you already have.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Mortgage Influencers, where we bring you professionals who share insight into the latest trends, tips, industry technology, and services to help you be a mortgage influencer in your mortgage business.
Okay, so we want to welcome you to this week's episode of Mortgage Influencers. My name is Ginger Bell, and I have with me my co-host Steve Richmond, and we have a special guest today, Coach Katey. Hey, guys.
Hello, hello.
I said it last time, I'll say it again. She's not a special guest. Last time I said she's the specialist guest. This time I say she's the specialist repeat guest. Are you kidding me?
Yay!
We got Coach Katey in
Back by popular demand. So Scott and I are both in Texas. He's in, I think, northern Texas, and I'm in Dallas, Texas. And so I am in between events and driving in the rain in Dallas, which is crazy. So I'm going to actually hop off and let you guys take it from here. So I just wanted to say hi. And Katey, thank you so much. Always good to see you. And Steve, take it away.
Yay. Thank you, Ginger.
Scared out of my mind now.
Bye,
Katey,
guys.
please hold my hand. Walk me through this process. Make it all good. All right. I'm not going to lie to the people behind the scenes. You and I talked about two different little things. So let's just get into those two things. When we were talking, Coach Katey, you told me one of the great things. By the way, I'm Steve. Hi, everybody. Coach Katey's here. Ginger's not. We're all on board. Let's go. So one of the things that you told me, Coach Katey, and it reminded me of a story is, I'm not saying the market, last time when we were here, we were talked about what's going on in the market, what numbers are looking like. And you know what? Spring's finally sort of hitting. I'm not saying it's in full force, but it's tweaking up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And it sort of reminds me of a story. And I'm going to tell a story and then I'm going to let you just run and talk. But I had a friend of mine who used to work. He was a caddy on the PGA Tour. I went to college with him. He played college golf. So every week he'd send out these like awesome emails. This is really what happened on the PGA Tour. And with which everything that's going on with PGA and the LIV tournament, right? LIV. Well, so I'm thinking golf. And he told this story once how Tiger Woods wins this tournament. And they give him one of those ridiculous size checks that's, like the size of whatever. Here's $5 million. And he's like, thank you, thank you, thank you. And the next thing he did after winning the tournament is he went into the workout room of the hotel and he worked out for 2 hours. And when I look at it, always we know that the cycle for a loan officer is market, 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 sell, 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 close, 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 market, 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 sell, 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 right? And we go through this cycle. Coach Katey, you're the coach. Coach me out of this cycle. Coach everybody out of this cycle.
Well, it's the idea of the image I get for people is think of an orchard, and it's an orchard of money trees. And usually what happens, we shake one money tree, a little money falls off, we pick it up and we go make money pie, right? And the idea is that you got to be shaking the money tree every single day. And what the money tree means is that it's consistent. Because if you think about the other analogy I hear a lot of people use for sales coaching is the locomotive, right? Taking a locomotive from a dead stop takes a lot of work and a lot of energy and a lot of fuel. And it's okay, we got it out of the station. Whew, here we go, right? It's going. And then if you stop putting fuel into the locomotive, it will stop. And then you got to start all over again. I won't say you, because I'm sure nobody on this call does this. I'll just say for myself that when I start working on a project, when I get a sale and I'm working on it, and this is great, it's easy to like, oh yeah, because the money is closer. Every salesperson I've ever met prioritizes their day on what's going to get them paid first. So if you have a transaction that's a week from closing, and something is coming off the rails, you are all over it. You're the most responsive, intense, focused person, because that's the thing that's going to get you paid first. The lead generation calls, the following up with past clients, the realtor coffees, that'll get me paid eventually. It's just not going to get me paid first. So I understand that mindset, and I've done it myself. I still do it from time to time and have to catch myself. And so the idea is around the routine that Tiger does, right? So it's that even though the train is moving along and doing great, you're still putting fuel into the locomotive and still creating those activities that will get him paid that $5 million again, possibly easier, because he just learned something by winning. It's the consistency of it. It's the persistence of it. It's the perseverance of keeping this business going. And so that's the thing that I think is really valuable, is that make sure you are shaking the money tree every single day. And maybe getting the train out of the station, it takes 20 calls a day to get the train out of the locomotive, or the train out of the station. Maybe when you have activities go, when you have sales, that's where it's like, hey, when you're in your car, make 2 calls. Every time you're at a red light, make a call. So you're making 5 to 10 calls. I did that the other day. I was in the car and I'm like, I have to make these 10 calls. My day is packed with appointments. I know I need to shake the money tree. So I wrote down the 10 names on a piece of paper. All those names were in my phone, and I just did voice calling. And I just called people like, hey, I'm in the car, wanted to touch base, wanted to see how things are going. Where are we with our contract? Things like that. So for me, I'm getting coaching clients, right? So people are, have they signed up for coaching yet? Right. So it's the conversation is still keeping some momentum around getting the locomotive, not just out of the station, but continuing to go. And it's a lot easier. So you're making those calls because you've got this momentum, and there's confidence that comes when you have clients and you're working on a transaction and you're helping families make a great financial decision, that your energy is different on the phone. You're actually a better salesperson when you have stuff in the pipeline than when you're at that dead stop.
A couple of things pop into my mind. People talk about procrastination all the time. And I say, and I got kids, right? And they go to college. Oh, my test is next week. I'm going to, my daughter just graduated high school last night. So my brain's
Congratulations.
Thank you. Getting her set up for college. And I look at procrastination, and the biggest way to prevent procrastination is to be busy. Because when you're busy, what happens? You don't have time to procrastinate. You have things to do. So that's sort of what you're saying. Keep doing those things. Keep putting those deadlines on you. You will stay busy. Keep that locomotive. Activity drives sales. So you have to keep doing those activities to go be busy. I'm just summarizing the stuff that you said. You say you want to go get a money pie. I still am not exactly sure if that's at the Harris Teeter or the Winn-Dixie where you're going to get the money pie, but I like to buy one of the money pies.
There you go.
But another thing you said, and I'm going to tweak it a little bit, because I don't think you meant it the way you said it, but I try to listen very carefully. You said you're in the forest of money trees and you got to shake that tree. And my comment is, I think what you meant to say, you correct me if I'm wrong, you need to shake those trees. You can't keep shaking the same money tree, the same money tree, the same money tree. You're shaking that one, but you're also shaking others to try and see what can generate there. Meaning, hey, when we go back to what Coach Katey was talking about, you're working on this one deal with this one real estate agent, or with this, and this one customer, but there's all those other money trees, those other real estate agents and those other customers, and you have to keep shaking those at the same time. Am I correct?
You do. Yeah, you do. I mean, I think I just shake the money tree to me is more of a euphemism of do sales activities, right? So if shaking the money tree today is calling past clients, shaking the money tree tomorrow is calling realtors, shaking the money tree on Fridays, calling CPAs. But you just shake them, whatever the money tree, and it could be different trees. Well, I always find it funny, because this happens all the time, is that you are calling past clients, and a week later, somebody calls you who you didn't call. You haven't talked to them in a year, and they're like, hey, just thought of you. And it's like, wait a minute, I didn't even call them. And that happens in an orchard too, right? You're shaking one tree, and a tree 3 rows down, 2 to the right, the fruit falls off of it. It's like, wait, what? I wasn't even shaking that money tree, and money's fallen off. That happens all the time because you're at the activity. It's the small little vibrations of energy and intention that have a ripple effect around the world. And so it's when you are focused on, hey, I'm keeping the the fire into this locomotive, that the locomotive is going to go and it's going to figure out how we're going to attract this kind of energy. It's pretty cool.
That being said, folks, I am Steve Richmond. We're with Coach Katey. Ginger's on the road today, so she's not going to be with us. We're talking about this, but as you can see, it really is not rehearsed. There's a chat box, a Q&A box at the bottom of the screen. You got Coach Katey in the house. If there's a question you have for her, if you want to get some more information, it's not what I want to ask her, it's what you want to ask her. So please go into that chat box. If there's any questions for her or for me, I guess, throw it in the chat box, throw it in the Q&A. I'm going to take my next question that I have for the coach, but please share. This is a whole group thing. Type your stuff in there. But I know for me, sale or sell is a 4-letter word. And I know me, I'm a salesperson, but I don't like to be sold to. So I don't want to say I feel like a hypocrite when I'm selling, but I'm like, how do I sell to the way that I want to be sold to? Because when I'm getting sold to, I feel like I'm being manipulated. But so what I want to say is, how do you take that sell is a 4-letter word, and oh God, here comes the sales pitch. Here it comes. Yet, oh man, now I'm the one making the pitch and I'm going to make it fresh and different and awesome. Coach Katey, go.
Oh man, this is a big thing for me. So the joke I say is that I've been selling since the 1st grade because I went to Catholic school. So I was selling candy bars as a fundraiser for Catholic schools. I've literally been knocking on doors since I was 6 years old. And my sales is my profession. It's what I coach. And here's the thing. I've just got so many things about this. One, we live in a free market economy, and a free market economy only works when a sales transaction happens. All of us like to buy. It's fun. Like, oh, look what I just bought. Look what I got. And we show our friends and we post about Facebook and look what I just bought.
I challenge, if people were waiting like 10 minutes before they got on this call, how many of you were on Amazon.com thinking about what do I want to buy? Or, hey, I got 10 minutes. Let me go see what else is out there. Right. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Right. We like to buy. And I feel like, oh, I'm not really a salesperson. You know, I'm more of a consultant. And I'm like, okay, well, consultants get paid by the hour. Salespeople get paid when a transaction closes. So we are salespeople, and that's awesome because, again, we are driving a free market economy in what we do. Now, salesmanship is just like any other profession. There are creepy, gross plumbers, and there are plumbers that are amazing. It's the same thing in sales and same thing in any industry. There are people that are slimy and creepy, and then there are people that are efficient and amazing at what they do. So being a salesperson, I want everybody to think about being an 8-year-old. If you have ever been an 8-year-old, you know how to sell. You have the skills. There are no better salespeople in the world than little kids, 5 to 8. They're ridiculous. They're objection handling machines. They are focused on their intention. You talk about manipulation. Are you kidding? Right. So, and I always think the word manipulation is sort of like peer pressure. Peer pressure can be very positive, right? There's peer pressure in a negative thing of like, oh, if all your friends were jumping off the Brooklyn Bridge, would you jump off? No, but if all my friends were picking up trash at the park and I see my friends picking up trash at the park, that's peer pressure too. I'm going to go help pick. Oh, hell, that's a good idea. I'm going to go do that. So salesmanship, peer pressure is all about being a kid and making friends on the playground. So I got to ask you, Steve, what was your favorite sport activity to do at recess when you were 8 years old?
Kickball.
Kickball. Yes. So when you play kickball, right, you go out at the recess, you're like, yes, I'm going to play kickball. And you go to one kid and you go, hey, do you want to play kickball? And the one kid's like, nah, I'm going to do hopscotch. Great. Do you want to play kickball? No, I want to do the swing. Okay, cool. Do you want to play kickball? And then you find somebody who wants to play kickball because you are focused on playing kickball and having it be fun. Now, that's sales. That's it. Go make friends on the playground. Go talk to people about what you're excited about, which is the mortgage industry and how we can help people and what are the opportunities in this market, and asking questions around people's largest financial investment of their lives, which is their home. See if anybody wants to play kickball with you. And it's not personal. And that's not thinking, oh, because I don't want to bother anybody. You're not bothering somebody. You're just asking, hey, I've got some updated information on what's happening in the mortgage. Hey, there's a lot of misinformation about what's happening in the mortgage industry right now. I just want to be an advisor to you if you have any questions. Talking to realtors, hey, let's schedule an appointment and talk about what are some strategies to help you with your business. I'd like to learn a little bit more about your business. And if a realtor says, no, I don't really want to meet with you to talk about strategies to help me with my business. Oh, okay, fine. You don't want to play kickball. I'll go find somebody else that does go, oh, that's an interesting conversation. What does that look like? And I think that's the other piece about it sometimes too, around kickball. We'll still use that analogy. The third time you go to that person and say, do you want to play kickball? I'm like, you keep asking me to play kickball. And I've never played and I don't really know what that means. And what are the rules? And it's like, oh, okay. Well, let me explain to you, this is how we play kickball and you want to give it a shot and see how it goes. And that's it. That's sales. That's the most basic sales on the planet, is about being a kid, going out at recess and making friends, telling people what you do and why you're excited about it. And then if they don't understand it, maybe explain it, explain the rules, explain what you're doing. Why are you meeting with realtors? Why are you meeting with past clients? And having the opportunity to share with somebody else why you're passionate about being in the mortgage industry.
All right, listen to this. This is really cool. We got questions coming in from the outside, and there's quasi kickball related. They started to do kickball, but they answered on the money tree. I'm reading your questions. I'm going to ask actually 4 questions. I'm just going to do them in order. So I haven't not read your question. I'm going to get to it. I promise. Okay. I'm trying to shake my trees. I know that CRMs are basically part of the money tree. What's your favorite CRM? That was actually asked.
My favorite CRM is the one that you use. I have used various different CRMs. What I do professionally, I use Keep, I've used HubSpot. As far as in the mortgage industry, use something, right? Your company traditionally has that as part of your employment, has a CRM that you can use. If it's something like, oh, it's clunky, look, that's an excuse. I love you. It's an excuse to not use what you already have, okay? We call that procrastination. Lead generation avoidance is what that is. I don't like my CRM. I don't care if you use an Excel spreadsheet. Put something together where you have a system for calling people, emailing people, and letting them know your value. And you help people make decisions on the largest financial investment of their lives, which is their home. So use any CRM.
And if you don't like it, go out there and start researching for yourself, because what's going to work for me is different than what's going to work for Coach Katey. And what's going to be different for Coach Katey is going to be different for Michael. You have to, each one has their own tweaks in their areas, so you can research them. And I'll tell you what, everybody, and I consult with a lot of companies also, and everybody complains about it, but the ones who just say, I'm not going to complain about it, I'm just going to use it, they get wonderful results from their CRM. So it doesn't matter which one. It doesn't matter. Oh, well, this one has better talk to text. Okay, that's nice. Oh, well, this one's easier. This one has a better dashboard. Oh, that's nice. Right. Let me tell you something. What should I be on, an iPhone or should I be on a Google phone? Get on the phone, start doing it. That's I'm so with you. Stop worrying about what's the right one. It's the right one the right one is the one that you use. Yes,
that's what people ask me, like, when's the best time to call? I'm like, the time that you do. I just, the time that you have, just call. Just you call. Here's the thing, sales 101, right? It was actually written, Gary Keller wrote this in The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, and I learned it in corporate sales before getting into the real estate industry. 2 emails a month, 1 call a quarter. Whatever CRM can do that for you, 2 emails a month, 1 call a quarter, and then do at least 2 social media posts that are business related every week. That's it. Don't overthink this stuff.
You just got the area code, folks. 212. Boom. Coach Katey just laid it out for you. But on that same thing, see, that was beautiful. I don't think you're reading the questions, but I am. The next question is, based on 212, is how many real estate agents is the right number of real estate agents that I need to be calling on?
Okay.
They want tactical. Yeah, I like the theory, but I'm not playing kickball. Tell me how to kick the ball further.
Yeah, I got you. No problem.
Boom. Let's do
I believe so the answer to every real estate question is it depends, because it does. So I don't know what your goals are. So if your goals are to make $50,000 a month, just do the math backwards. What's your average what's your average loan amount? How much do you make per loan on average? And then it's just math, right? If what you make on an average loan is 5,000, that means you need 10 loans. Then you need to go work with realtors that are going to give you 15 leads a month so that you can convert those 15 leads into 10 closed transactions. Then it's just math. It's just math. So you can just do the math backwards. So, hey, I have 5 top producing agents. Each one of them are going to give me 3 leads a month. That's your 15. Easy. So figuring out, and then if you have a giant mega team that you're working with, and you're like, okay, I want to work with this giant mega team and be part of this team and build a partnership and a long-term relationship with these people, and they are consistently net 15 to 20 leads a month, great. Then be a partner, a true business partner with them, and build that relationship long-term. So it just depends. It depends on your goals. It depends on what the realtor's average, the average amount of clients that they're working with. And I'm a huge fan of listing agents. You guys have got to get into a relationship with listing agents.
You're preaching the choir.
Oh my God. Please, nobody else is. Go do it.
Every time you work with a listing agent, what have you just done? You close that loan. You always want to go to an agent, a buyer's agent, and say, oh, can I prove my worth to you? You're doing it in front of the listing agent right there. You have a demo opportunity. Why you're not embracing that, beyond me. But watch this. Look, I'm going to do this. Coach, you'll tell me if this is good or not good. We're talking about the number of real estate agents you should be calling on. We're talking about what's the best CRM. I will say this. In your CRM, you have your real estate agents. They're listed in your CRM, which is helping you figure out how to do the 212 calls that Coach Katey was talking about. But I'd break those in your CRM to hot, warm, and cold, or A, B, C, or top, middle, bottom, or I don't care what you want to call them, right? So if manageable in the top, you can't warm, fuzzy, and be really shake that money tree every single day, gold glove, white glove service if you do that to 25 agents per week, that's a lot. I don't know how you get through 25 in that top category. That's a lot, in my opinion, but I couldn't handle more than 25 in that category. So they're getting that gold glove service, right? Then you got the B grade ones. Okay, I'm just sending out an email this week. I'm just sending out a text this week. I'm doing one phone call just to check in. Boom. And then I'm going to have a larger group of that because they have less contact. So I'm able to get into that. Then you got the barrel.
Everybody else.
Right? Of the fish swimming all in that barrel. And that's hey, I'm just going to shoot once in a while and hopefully I hit a fish, and that's where it's going to be. So that's the beauty of the CRM. It allows you to segment your client base to who needs that high touch, who needs medium touch, and who's low touch. And that's not a forever thing. You're moving somebody into the middle touch, into high touch, because all of a sudden they just have 2 new clients that they're ready to work with, and they go over here. The other person says, I'm going on vacation for the next 3 weeks. Okay, I'm moving you back over to here. That's a good way to do it. Agree, disagree, or?
Yes, I agree. I'm going to actually tighten that up even more. If that's okay.
Go.
I would say, I want you guys to think about you are filling seats on the bus. So if you have 5 top producing realtors that you are meeting with every week, you know their business plan, their personal goals, you are absolutely intertwined into their business and they into yours. You enjoy talking to them even when it's bad news. That kind of relationship. And it takes time. You are filling seats on the bus for those 5 spots. Those people you talk to have a check-in call once a week, maybe an accountability call once a week. And I've said this before, I'll say it again. Real estate is an extremely lonely business for realtors. For them to know they have a buddy, a partner, somebody that can pick them up when they're down, somebody that can celebrate them when they get a win, huge.
A seat buddy on the bus, right? Isn't that what we had to do when we were little kids?
Right,
your
seat
buddy when you
buddies.
go on field trips. You got your buddy.
Got your buddy. And so if you have 5 seats, you are literally going out and interviewing realtors to say, who do I want to be interacting with this much? Those are your A plus people. You're going to be interacting with them probably more than once a week on transactions, but you have a specific time every week where you're sitting down face to face or over Zoom or phone call for half an hour. Hey, are we on track? Are you on track? Am I on track? What do we got going on? What's in the pipeline? What open houses? What events are we doing? All those things. So when you go and meet with realtors, you're literally interviewing them, learning about their business, learning where they get their business, learning about their personal life. How do they get into real estate is my favorite question, because it teaches you a lot about their mindset and where they came from and their background and all these things. They're fascinating conversations. Your second group, or your B group, is people you talk to once a month. Maybe all these people still get 2 emails a month, 1 call a quarter, regardless. But the once a month people are people maybe you didn't quite really connect with them. You know, there was a connection, or maybe it didn't quite click, but you like them and they do a decent business, but they're not crushing it. They're not in that top 10%. They'll do a couple deals, but you want to stay in business with them. And that's a smaller group. So that group, instead of being 5, that's maybe that 25 or that 30 of people that you're going to check in with them once a month. And maybe maybe once a month you do an event where you get your A+ people and your A people together, and you bring in a speaker, you do a Zoom, you have a pizza party, you invite them to come together at an event, and you just connect with them face to face at least once a month, or maybe you do coffee appointments with them once a month. The third group is like that C group, right? The C group is they're occasionally, you like them, but they don't do a lot of business, or they're retiring or whatever. Look, as I said, 2 emails a month, 1 call a quarter, 2 social media posts a week, right? Those people, you're going to check in once a quarter. Again, maybe you're going to have an agent appreciation event once a quarter, and you're going to invite everybody that's part of those groups, right? ABC. The D people are the people you don't like and you want them out of your database because you hope you never see them again, right? And those, look, we don't have to be friends with everybody on the playground. You go on the playground and you're like, oh, well, good. I don't need to be friends with you.
Let me get D people, and then I got a question in the audience.
Okay.
Here's my comment about D people. There are a lot of brand new loan originators in this business that are saying, oh my gosh, I am so hungry. I don't have anything in my pipeline right now. That's a great introduction for you to make with those D people, because you're still serving them, giving them somebody else to work with. That new originator is going to say, oh, good, at least I have somebody to work with and I can spend time, and maybe they have a better relationship. And what have you just done? You made another LO happy. You made your real estate agent happy, and it makes you happy. So don't ignore those people, figure out where to place them.
Put them someplace else.
They end up in a good spot. All right, I'm going back to the money tree. But instead of money, there are apples. And this one person who just wrote it, I'm very, very articulate today. This person who just sent the question, they said, they're apples and I'm shaking it. And every time the apple lands, there's a worm in that apple. When do I get the good apples to land? i.e., they have low credit. They just went through a bankruptcy. They have no money for a down payment. I keep attracting the customers that I don't want to attract, because I attract the problem child.
Okay, so you're going to hate me for this one. It's because
no one could ever hate you.
It's because you're allowing it. Yeah, we get what we tolerate. So, and we also get what, if we're not clear on our expectations, we get everything. If you're clear, like, hey, I want to work with you. That usually that is from somebody who hasn't done a deep dive on the relationship with the realtor. They've gone to realtor. They've had maybe a quick coffee conversation. It was very high level. The agent maybe liked you enough to be like, well, let's see if you can take a couple of these people that I'm not sure can even get a loan. But hey, if you can somehow use a magic wand and have them be able to get, then hey, cool, right? These are people who are likely not to do a deal anyway. But then set the expectation, like, hey, I'm going to do my best and I'm going to show you how professional I am and how I follow up with you and how responsive I am with communicating with you on these people that are duds, so that you can see how I work in my level of professionalism. After X amount of time, I'd like an opportunity to earn business with people that you know are viable buyers, clients, whatever. I'd like to go with you on a listing appointment and see how you do a listing presentation and be there to answer questions for a seller around how the loan process works today, or even pre-qualify the seller for what they're looking to do with their proceeds once they sell. Get into relationship, find out what their needs are, find out where the holes in their business are, and help support them. The reason that they're giving you the duds, the apples and the worms, is because you haven't built trust yet. They don't know why they want to work with you. And they're like, well, if I give you these and you can somehow turn this worm into apple pie, cool. But their database is their reputation. Their clients are their reputation. Their clients represent everything to them. And it's extraordinarily personal. And for my pet peeve is loan officers that walk up to a realtor and like, hi, I'm a loan officer. I know this product and I know this product and I have this product and I'd like to work with your buyer. And it's like walking up to somebody and saying, hey, can I hold your baby? No, weirdo, get away from me. I don't even know you. Like, you seem like a nice person.
I'm like, here, take it. No.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but baby number 3, I was like, here you go. It immediately puts up the walls because it's like, you don't know me, you don't know my clients, you don't know my business, and now you're coming up and saying you want to take a part of my reputation with you and just see how it goes. That's scary. So don't be scary.
And if you want to go consumer direct, my comment is if you try to be all things to all people, you're nothing special to everyone. Let me say that again. If you try to be all things to all people, you're nothing special to everyone. So when you go out and say, I do good credit, I do bad credit, I got first-time home buyers, I got multimillionaires, it's like, okay, come on, you're not talking to me. So once you start to find your home, your group, where you start to fit in, that's where you start to lose those that are not, because some people love tough credit loans. That's what they thrive.
Oh, absolutely.
So you want to really target where you want to be. We are pretty much at the top of the hour. So that's where I think we did okay for not having Ginger. We might, I don't know, maybe we won't invite Ginger back next week. We'll see what happens. But Coach Katey, where can people find you? What do you want to leave us with? What's the one nugget that I'm walking away from you today? I'm like, I now remember Coach Katey. Boom.
Okay. Go make friends. Our job is to make friends and help our friends make good decisions. Go make friends with realtors, go make friends with clients, go make friends and help people with the largest financial decision of their lives.
Folks, that's from my friend, Coach Katey. I am Steve Richmond, and I appreciate you, Coach Katey, and I appreciate everybody being here on the call. Folks, we'll be here again next week. I hope you have a fantastic Wednesday or whatever day of the week that you're watching this, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much. Have a good one.
Thank you. Bye.